All right, everybody, welcome to our morning market update and the opening of our live trading room. Today is Monday, Monday, September the 5th of 2017. All day it's September the 5th, I've been told. What a weekend we've had. Hopefully you had a long weekend with your family and your friends, and hopefully the kids are off to school if you have the kids. And you get some chance to breathe a sigh of relief. Labor Day is over. The labor, however, is not over. The labor is only beginning because you got some great markets to start trading. With Labor Day officially happening, traders on the institutional desks are back to work, all right? And you're going to start to see volatility ramp up and start to pick up. This quiet summer that was supposed to be quiet, the beginning of it was quiet, and then the latter part started to see some volatility get infused, and I think we're going to start picking up. We're going to start getting a lot of great opportunities for trading, a lot more trend-based moves rather than range-bound, which is what the summer usually brings. All right, over the weekend, new Hurricane Irma is now projected to hit Miami as a Category 5. It's just been upgraded this morning, so that's getting tense. Houston is just recovering from this. We don't even know the flood damage yet, and then now Irma's coming by, so that's a bout of really bad luck. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone out in Miami and Southern Florida. We hope you guys make it through this. Be strong, and yeah, this is really terrible. Natural disasters are really tough to deal with because they just happen, and they really show humanity how helpless we are, right? We have all this technology, but a hurricane decides to come by, and there's nothing we could do about it. Anywho, in Asia, Japan's market is down 0.6%. Hong Kong is flat. China's up 0.1%. India's up 0.3% as well. In Europe, at midday, London's up 0.1 of a percentage point. Paris is up 0.2%, and Frankfurt's up almost 1% at 0.8 positive. Futures here on the U.S. session: Dow Jones minus 0.2%, S&P minus 0.25 of a percentage point after opening week. Nasdaq is down 0.2%. Crude oil is up a whole 1.1% to 47.80. Gold's up 0.5% to 1337.10 after trading as high as 1345 over the weekend on the news of this North Korea hydrogen bomb test. So we're going to talk about that next, all right? 10-year Treasury yield minus 1.6 bips or basis points at 2.14. Today's economic calendar, we had Federal Reserve's Lyle Brainard speak. She just wrapped up her speech just a few minutes ago, actually. We'll review that in the trading room and what she said. 10 a.m. we have factory orders. 12:30 we have TD Ameritrade IMX, tongue twister. And then the Gallup UC ECI at 2 p.m. Basically a whole bunch of news reports that don't mean much. They're not high impact news reports, but you got to pay attention to them nonetheless. And we have a quiet day today. Tomorrow is pretty quiet. Wednesday it starts to pick up. Thursday we got the ECB, and then Friday is relatively quiet as well. So there's not a lot of economic news, but there's a lot of geopolitical events and the storm developing as well. Hurricane Irma that's coming by. That's what the traders are looking for. We're also looking at Donald Trump in Congress to see what the debt ceiling's like. That's coming up at the end of September. All right. We talked about this on the weekend. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin went into the Fort Knox compound to see how much gold they have. We believe they're going to mark gold to market so they could use that as a funding source if they don't agree on a new budget, and to increase the limit, the debt ceiling limit. So there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of one-off events that could pop up and cause volatility in the market. I would say this: if you're swing trading, be careful, set tight stops, and don't be too concerned about being right. Don't say, why did the market go up or down? There's just a lot of things to digest at the moment, and it's hard to digest a lot of things without getting an upset stomach sometimes. So what I would say is, if you're concerned about the way the market's moving, you have one course of action: reduce your trading size. Okay, reduce your trading frequency, allow yourself to stay in the game longer. Don't go out there and put your neck out on an event that you have no control over. Unless you know Kim Jong-un, which is pretty much Dennis Rodman in the United States. Dennis Rodman was actually in North Korea in January. And maybe they should just make him a diplomat and send him out there to talk to Kim Jong-un. But hey, pal, what's your problem? I'll sign a ball for you. Stop nuking things. Okay, so anywho, a lot of one-off events. China is planning this morning to enact further virtual currency regulations. For those of you that missed it, on the weekend, China made an initial coin offering, or ICO, illegal in China. All right, ICOs are a process of generating funds or fundraising for blockchain technology with the back of a cause. Like, you could donate to something, for example. So these coins explode in value. But they've outlawed that. All right, and this is really what set a 20% drop in Ethereum, and Bitcoin is down about 18% itself from the high to the low of the move. It's rebounded a little bit now. As you guys know, a lot of this money that's come to prop this cryptocurrency market up has come from Asian countries, specifically from China. So now that that's been outlawed there, and China has literally said we're planning to enact further virtual currency regulations, all right, which will entail launching token-based digital currencies for fundraising purposes. They're targeting that. You know, that's bad news. So expect some more selling. I've been asked this question millions of times. What should I do about Bitcoin? And here's what I tell people. I didn't buy Bitcoin. I missed a chance to buy it. What did I miss a chance to buy it at? $7 of Bitcoin. That's when I was first put on to Bitcoin. I did the research, and at the time I dismissed it as a risky proposition, a risky venture. It's worked out since, but there's hundreds of other ventures that have come to my attention since then that are no longer around. So it's silly to think that the one thing that you could have gotten is something you would have bought if you knew about it back in the day, because then it had risk. Now it has a lot more risk for the price point. I'm staying away from Bitcoin. I say sell Bitcoin. Get out of that thing. Cryptocurrencies is just the latest buzz. It's the latest fidget spinner. It's the latest pet rock. It has potential to balloon into something bigger, but the technology is not owned by one exchange. All right, it's free and available technology. So be careful. Buy it if you want. It's your money. Just be super careful with it and expect a lot of fluctuation. If you want to put $10,000 in it, I'd say put in $2,000. All right, start small. Paris Hilton's backing a thing called Lydian Coin. The game is supporting a marijuana exchange blockchain. Once you start to see celebrities get involved, it's the beginning of the end. It's institutional selling, trying to get out of it, smart money. North Korea on the weekend tests a hydrogen bomb on Sunday morning, sends a 6.3 magnitude earthquake into eastern China. All right, UN Council condemns North Korea and said they understand only from one thing. They didn't say what that one thing is, but that one thing is military action is what was implied. All right, South Korea since holds a military readiness drill. Donald Trump tweets at 8:40 this morning, I am allowing Japan and South Korea to buy a substantially increased amount of highly sophisticated military equipment from the United States. The United States decides to capitalize on this whole chaos and sell more arms to South Korea at a time that North Korea is doing tests because South Korea is doing their own. All right. So there's a whole bunch of provocation. I don't know, I'm an immigrant. I don't know how to say that word. But the whole point is this. All right. Somebody's got to back down or somebody's going to launch a nuke. And that's what it comes down to. At some point, we're either going to have to sit at the table and do this diplomatically, or somebody's going to launch a missile. And at that point, all bets are off. Forget about the nuclear accord. We're going to world war literally with the press of one button. So cooler heads have to prevail or this thing's going to explode and balloon out. And it doesn't matter how much money you make trading because your money is good for nothing. It ain't going to buy you a loaf of bread. All right, because when confidence is lost, it's not lost in one country. It's lost in the system as a whole. And then big problems could come out. All right, not saying it's going to happen, but that's the risk. All right, Putin says only one way to resolve this is through diplomacy, not military action. That's Russia's take on it. He warned that Kim Jong-un has decided the survival of his regime depends on its development of nuclear weapons. That's what Putin said. The way he basically said it is, look, Kim Jong-un feels that his country, in order to survive and be taken serious internationally, has to develop a defense mechanism. These are not my words. This is a strong opinion. This comes from Vladimir Putin. I am just rehashing this. All right. And he said, Kim has seen how Western intervention in Iraq ended and in the overthrowing of the Saddam Hussein regime. And despite Saddam rejecting the existence of weapons of mass destruction the whole time, he was ultimately killed and members of his family were killed as well. And he said, Putin said, we know North Korea has nukes. We also know they have long-range artillery, and there are no weapons against long-range artillery, and they can be very difficult to locate. So the North Korean action here, what he's saying, his take is North Korea doesn't want to start a war. They're being aggressive in defense. It's kind of like peace through actions of war. All right. And they want to demonstrate their strength and their defense capabilities. And what Putin said is Kim Jong-un feels he needs to defend himself because look what happened to Saddam. And they didn't show any evidence of weapons of mass destruction after overthrowing the regime. All right. So he just wants to defend himself. That's one side of the view. The other side is he's hell-bent on causing war. You decide. I'm somewhere in between. The truth lies always down the middle of the two extreme points. All right, last thing I'm going to say, some Putin said that he's going to potentially cut some more U.S. diplomatic staff out of Russia, the potential to remove another 155 American diplomats. This is after the U.S. staff reduced. Can't talk. There's a lot of info I crammed in this morning update, but a lot is happening. All right, it's after U.S. reduced their diplomats to 455. Putin is making action to level them out and give them as many as they get. All right, so this is what I'm going to say. There are no economic events this week. There aren't any this Monday, but there is a lot of perceived risk and a lot of opportunity for something to set off a chain reaction. So we've had a big rally the past week. It's happened on low volume. The data supported a short squeeze. Short sellers are out of the trade, but short sellers who have bought to get out of a trade now become new short sellers at the top trying to win that downside again. They're looking to be right. I think we see a initial move to the downside. We'll see how liquidity gets picked up. This is a phenomenal market to day trade in. Traders are back. Volatility is coming back, and I cannot wait. I love volatile markets. If I had a volatility alarm clock, I would trade only 30 days of the year, the most volatile, and make all my income. I don't have that. It doesn't exist. So unfortunately, I got to wake up every day, right? You guys have a safe day. Join us in the live trading room. It comes with the Day Trader Pro package. Let's get in there. Let's talk about some levels, how we're going to trade the day. There's kind of the weekend in a nutshell. All right, a lot happened in the last 3 days, and that's why gold is up so much. There's fear in the market. A lot of money is starting to flock to gold. All right, so be careful, guys. Manage your risk. If you're going to swing trade, understand that the next couple weeks come with a transition through the month of September. It's usually turbulent, and to survive the turbulence, you trade smaller size, trade less frequently, and be more careful and more selective of your opportunities. You have a great day. See you in the trading room, and let's open up the trading room now. Get in there and kick some butt. We got a full day ahead of us. Take care, guys. All right, Trade Pro subs and Trade Pro family, let's do this. My patented chair spin didn't work. I hit my leg today. I really shouldn't have greased those wheels on the chair. What do you guys think? Let me end the broadcast. Still going, actually. Bye, YouTube.